Hey, so today I wanted to talk about the film Waiting. It's kind of had a big impact on me lately, so let's talk about it. Oh, just chilling in my garage and talking about movies. Waiting is a raunchy comedy from the 2000s that's like kind of in the same vein as Clerks, as it's like a day in the life of people who are stuck in their jobs that they just hate. And I guess I could kind of relate to that a little bit. It was a film that I did watch when I was a kid, but it never really stuck. I never really like related to the story or anything, or even like the comedy of it, because this film has a lot of like really raunchy, like gross out humor. I mean, like look at like the steak scene,
Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing? Come on, man. You can't be mixing Mexican and continental.
or the pube scene. They could be off-putting to some people. As a kid, I'm like, oh, I'd rather just watch like Step Brothers or something. But as I've gotten older, I've learned to really appreciate it. It sort of like applies to my own life too, in a certain way. The film has like an ensemble cast, like Ryan Reynolds, Justin Long, Anna Faris, Dane Cook is even in this. Every time I watch it though, I always really relate to Justin Long's character, despite Ryan Reynolds being like the face of the movie. But Justin Long is really the one who leads this film, in my opinion. So his character is like in his early 20s, never really like went to college or anything, right? And he's stuck at this restaurant job that he hates a lot. I can't relate to the college part because I did go to college, but I can relate to the part where you are stuck at this job and you're not like doing anything with your life. You're like, why am I even here? You see a lot of people around you that are doing so much. And it's like, man, why can't I do that? And Justin Long's character also goes through that. He even has this scene with his mom where his mom brings up the fact that one of his classmates from high school graduated college. He has this really great job. He's making like six figures. He's super successful. And what are you doing? You're serving at a restaurant. It's tough because as soon as I got into my 20s, I just feel like I need to be the best that I possibly can be, which I mean that's great. Like you should be, right? But that shit just doesn't happen over time. It's one of those things that you just have to really strive for, but sometimes that's just like so hard to do. And having the motivation to do it, um it's rough, man. Like and so, of course, Justin Long's character has to compare himself to this other character. They're both the same age. I mean, one's doing so much more, the other one is just not doing, he doesn't think he's doing enough. And that's a bummer. And that's like, I feel that too. And it's like, why can't I be more successful than I am now? Well, maybe I need to try harder. Maybe it's good not to compare yourself to others. And I mean, that's just like the, internal battle that his character has in this movie that he overcomes eventually. And that's why I feel like it's like a great coming of age story for people like in their 20s. We're all there, right? I hope I'm not the only one who's going through that shit. Like, I just felt like after college, I had a lot of pressure on myself to do a lot with my life, to do as much as I can, and to establish my career at an early age. I don't know if it's like a society thing, but that's just, you graduate college, you have a degree. Are you going to use it? I have an English degree. And a lot of people always ask me, they're just like, oh, well, are you going to be a teacher? I'm like, well, not really. I've always wanted to do like screenwriting or whatever, but now I almost see that as like a hobby. But it sucks that I have this degree. And I mean, right now I'm working at a retirement home as a cook. I'm not like embarrassed about it at all. Like it's cool and everything, but it's not what I signed up for. It's not what I wanted to do with my life. And so I always keep pressuring myself to, okay, you need to, today you need to apply to some jobs and stuff. You need to like get this ball rolling because you don't want to be stuck here forever. And Justin Long's character carries that anxiety on his shoulders throughout the movie. You know, every time I watch it, I'm just like, that is me, dude. I'm there with you, and I think that's why I really like it a lot. And it is like a coming of age film for me, like in my 20s at least. You know, first like when I was like a teenager, ones that I really liked that struck a chord for me were like, you know, Perks of Being a Wallflower or The Edge of 17 or Sing Street, films like that. But now I'm at this new stage in my life where, okay, I finished school. I'm not going back to school at all. So I checked that box, and so what next? And what is like so inspiring about this movie is at the very end, Justin Long's character decides to just quit because this is not what he wants to do. He also sees all the other people around him who are stuck in the same job. They're all like exhausted from it. They're tired of it. And he finally decides that, like, you know what's gonna make me happy is if I quit and I try to pursue something bigger than this. Because you know your potential. You know that you could do a lot more than what you're doing now. So that's something that I really love about the movie, that you can change, you know? And that it's just like a little blip of your life. Like, this is just like one day of his life, just like working at this restaurant. And soon it'll be like part of the past. Like, oh my gosh, like, remember that time that I worked at Shenanigans? I don't know, I just love it for just that simply. There's a lot more that's in this movie that's also great too. They not only just like dive into like the life of the servers, but also like the cooks, the bus boys, the hostess, like everybody. And the past few jobs that I have been able to get have been like food related. So that's just like another layer to this movie that I'm just like, yes, like I totally get that. And I know I hate working food. So all this stuff that they go through in this movie, like the nasty customers, and that one scene where they're about to close up, and then the couple walk in like 5 minutes before closing, and like the whole kitchen just erupts.
I'm sorry, guys.
Like that shit is funny because it's so true. It's like, we're trying to get the fuck out of here, and you like, why are you like coming in now? So I feel that, you know, and I think it's funny because I worked in food, not necessarily like restaurants and stuff, but you know, like I worked at like Dunkin' Donuts, and that's it. It was like the same feeling. It was like, okay, why is this person here in the drive-thru 2 minutes before we close? I already threw away most of the coffee anyways, like shit. So yeah, that's just like another thing that I can like relate to that's in this movie. Also the fact that a lot of the servers have like a negative attitude about a lot of things. If you're really unhappy with what you're doing, why are you doing it? And I like that message. That's something that I pulled out of it, at least. I don't know. I mean, other people might see the movie differently, but that's what I got from it. So the character at the end, who is Justin Long's classmate, kind of like cuts him off, doesn't really want to have like a conversation with him as they're like trying to like catch up. Justin Long's character, he's just like, oh, okay, well, whatever, kind of viewing him as like an asshole. But then at the very end, he leaves him with a $100 tip, or an $80 tip. That's what it is. It shows that like you don't have to be so angry about everything. Angry and spiteful over this person who is better than you. And yes, the tip is a nice gesture, and it acts as like his motivation to change. This is his motivation to change his life, which I think is powerful. And I'm at that point in my life as well. You gotta look at life differently. But I feel like in order to look at life differently, you have to change it. I'm sorry if I keep repeating myself, but this just like, you know, it's something that I noticed in the movie that, man, it's like, that's like my life right now. This is why I think that, you know, Waiting is a great coming of age film, for me at least. And if you haven't seen it, you should watch it. It's great. If you like Clerks, and obviously you know I like Clerks, I got a fucking poster right here. You will like this movie. It's great. It's really random too. But yeah, like a lot of it is like really genuine, and I don't know, it's a good movie. It's a movie that shows me that, like, okay, this is like a wake up call. I need to get this ball rolling. I know I'm still young. I'm only like 23. I'm gonna be 24 soon. I still have a lot of time to really develop my career. I just thought at this point it would all be established. I was kind of naive. Like when I was a teenager, I was like, okay, I wanted to do something in filmmaking. So at like 18, I was like, yes, I'm gonna produce my first feature film at 23. And now I'm just like, there's no way that I could fucking do that shit. But I mean, it's not bad to still have your dreams, right? You can still have that. You should also still try to strive for more than just that, and try not to get stuck. I'm gonna try not to get stuck being a cook. I'm gonna try to find a job. Ugh, job. The J word. I'm so tired of hearing it, but you have to do it, man, and you have to just face your fears. There's a lot of anxiety that comes into getting a new job, especially a more serious one. So I'm still striving for that. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on Waiting. If you have seen the movie, let me know what you think down below, or not. Whatever, do whatever, man. Um, but yeah, thanks for watching, and I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna head out. Bye.